For over 150 million years, Earth was ruled by creatures unlike anything alive today. Dinosaurs evolved into some of the most terrifying predators the world has ever seen. Whether stalking prey on land or lurking in ancient waters, these deadly creatures ensured that life in prehistory was an ongoing battle for survival. As a group, dinosaurs pioneered many of the traits we associate with dangerous animals today. Big teeth, powerful jaws, and razor-sharp claws. Some walked alone, others moved in groups. All of them faced the same reality: eat or be eaten. Life in the Mesozoic era was not peaceful. It was dynamic, unpredictable, and often violent. Survival didn't depend on size alone. It depended on instinct, timing, or patience. Some had thick armor, others vanished into the shadows. But a select few didn't run or hide. They hunted. Across time and continents, a pattern appeared. Evolution kept producing predators built for the task. Their bones tell stories of creatures designed to take down prey, defend territory, and dominate the food chain. They changed the behavior of every other species around them. When they entered an ecosystem, they became the standard others had to outrun, outsmart, or outlast. Today, we walk through museums and look at their skeletons, but behind every fossil is a living animal that once tracked, waited, attacked. In this documentary, we'll follow the paths of the most dangerous predators of the age of dinosaurs. Not the biggest, not the most famous, but the ones whose traits made them truly lethal. We will explore their environments, how they hunted, and how they shaped life around them. Not through fantasy or guesswork, but through the clues they left behind. We'll also look at how danger itself evolved, how over millions of years, predatory dinosaurs became faster, smarter, and more specialized. The age of dinosaurs was not just an age of giants, it was an age of predators. And in the quiet spaces of prehistoric Earth, danger often arrived before it was seen. We will study what made them deadly, how they thrived, and why they remain some of the most fearsome creatures our planet has ever known. This is not a story of monsters. It's a story of survival, written in the bones of the past. Among the many creatures that once ruled the Earth, some stood out not because of their size, but because of their skill. Two such creatures, separated by millions of years, but connected by family, were Velociraptor and Utahraptor. They were hunters shaped by sharp senses, quick minds, and deadly tools. Velociraptor lived around 75 million years ago. Despite its fearsome reputation, Velociraptor was much smaller than what movies often depict. It measured about 6 to 7 feet long, stood just under 2 feet tall at the hips, and weighed around 30 to 40 pounds. However, what it lacked in size, it made up for in speed and agility. Scientists estimate Velociraptor could run up to 24 miles per hour, making it a swift predator capable of chasing down prey. This dinosaur's hands had 3 fingers, each tipped with sharp claws. But its most famous weapon was a large, curved claw on each foot. This claw was sickle-shaped, sharp, and could reach almost 2 inches long. It was retractable, meaning Velociraptor could hold it up while running, then slash down hard when it attacked. While the claw was sharp and powerful enough to puncture skin, its primary function was to act as a hook, preventing prey from escaping and allowing the Velociraptor to grasp and subdue its victim. Velociraptor also had a skull filled with sharp, serrated teeth. Its jaws were strong enough to grip prey tightly, but it relied more on its claws to hurt and hold. Velociraptors possessed powerful, highly effective binocular vision, allowing them to see in 3 dimensions with accurate depth perception. This keen eyesight was crucial for hunting and coordinating as a pack. Their binocular field of view was estimated to be up to 60 degrees, similar to that of modern predatory birds. Scientists think Velociraptor was smart for a dinosaur, with a brain size larger than many other meat-eaters of its time. They were likely more intelligent than most other dinosaurs, potentially comparable to a bird's level of intelligence. Their brain size relative to their body size is relatively high compared to other reptiles and dinosaurs, suggesting a higher level of cognitive ability. This doesn't mean they were as smart as primates or even birds, but they were likely capable of complex behaviors like learning through trial and error. People often think Velociraptor hunted in packs, working like wolves, but fossil evidence doesn't clearly show this. Some discoveries of multiple velociraptors together might mean they fed on the same carcass, but not that they hunted as a team. More likely, Velociraptor was a clever patient hunter that worked alone, or in loose groups, but didn't coordinate attacks. It could use its speed and sharp claws to ambush prey, relying on surprise and quick strikes. A common prey for Velociraptor was smaller herbivores like Protoceratops. This small plant eater wasn't fast, but it was tough. When a Velociraptor attacked, it would try to disable its prey quickly, slashing at legs or sides with its sickle claw. It wasn't a fight to the death in a straight-up battle. It was a series of careful, precise moves, striking when the prey was weakest. On the other side of the family tree, millions of years earlier and far across the world, lived Utahraptor. This dinosaur was a giant compared to Velociraptor. It was one of the largest dromaeosaurs ever found. Utahraptor could grow up to 7 meters long, about 23 feet. It stood as tall as a man on 2 legs, roughly 2 meters at the hip. It weighed anywhere from 500 to 700 kilograms, over 1,000 pounds. Imagine an animal the size of a big polar bear, but built for hunting with speed and strength. Like Velociraptor, Utahraptor had a stiff tail for balance and powerful legs with massive claws. Its sickle claw was enormous, nearly the size of a human hand, about 9 inches long. The claws were used in conjunction with its long fingers to grapple and subdue prey, and its powerful legs and flexible wrist joints allowed it to swing the claws in a wide arc to inflict devastating wounds. Utahraptor's speed, while not as impressive as smaller dromaeosaurs like velociraptors, was still a significant factor in its hunting strategy. While not a long-distance sprinter, Utahraptor could reach speeds of 20 to 28 miles per hour and jump up to 15 feet or 4.7 meters. This agility, combined with its size and powerful claws, made it a formidable predator. Though we haven't found direct proof of feathers on Utahraptor fossils, scientists are confident it had them. Its smaller relatives had feathers, and these were likely common across the group. These feathers probably helped with temperature control, and maybe even helped Utahraptor show dominance or attract mates. Utahraptor was a powerful hunter, likely able to take down large plant-eating dinosaurs. Some experts believe it might have hunted in groups, using cooperation to bring down prey much bigger than itself. However, this idea is still debated, because direct evidence is missing. What we do know is that Utahraptor was a predator designed for attack, fast, strong, and intelligent. Both Velociraptor and Utahraptor belong to a family called Dromaeosauridae. This family is part of a larger group called theropods, which includes the ancestors of modern birds. These dinosaurs shared several features that made them successful hunters: sharp claws, keen eyesight, balance, and likely feathers. Their brains were large for reptiles, meaning they had good senses and possibly high levels of problem-solving skills. They could track prey carefully, judge distances, and plan attacks. Their feet and claws were perfectly shaped for gripping and slicing. These were not clumsy hunters. They were precise and effective. Even though Utahraptor was much bigger, both it and Velociraptor shared hunting styles. They would stalk, wait for the perfect moment, then strike quickly. They didn't rely on brute force alone. Instead, they combined speed, intelligence, and sharp weapons to take down their prey. They could run fast, change direction quickly, and use their claws like surgical tools. The success of these raptors came not just from their physical features, but from how they used them. They were patient. They waited for weakness. They chose their moments with care. This made them silent assassins in a world full of giants. These dinosaurs were more than just killers. Their adaptations allowed them to thrive in difficult environments, whether in the deserts of Mongolia or the forests of ancient North America. Today, the raptor family continues in the birds that fly overhead, reminding us of the clever hunters that once moved quietly across the earth. But survival didn't always come through sharp teeth or swift claws. In the shadows of those ancient forests, evolution took a different path, giving rise to creatures whose power was hidden in unexpected ways. Deep within the dense forests of late Cretaceous Mongolia, amid towering conifers and thick underbrush, there lived a creature unlike any other. Its name is Therizinosaurus. The name means scythe lizard, and that description fits perfectly. This dinosaur was defined by its most terrifying feature: claws. These claws were unlike the hunting tools of predators. Instead, they served a different purpose, one wrapped in mystery and power. Therizinosaurus was a giant among the dinosaurs of its time. It could grow up to 10 meters long, about 33 feet, and stand around 3 to 4 meters tall at the hips. Weighing between 5 to 6 tons, it was as heavy as an elephant. Despite its size, Therizinosaurus was not a typical meat eater. Its long neck curved gracefully, allowing it to reach leaves and branches high in the trees. It had a small head with a beak-like mouth, perfect for stripping plants. Its body was covered with feathers, as evidence from related species shows, giving it a strange but elegant appearance. Imagine a huge feathered creature with a neck like a swan's and hands tipped with claws longer than a man's arm. Those claws were its most famous and feared feature. Each claw was about 90 centimeters, close to 3 feet, long, sharp, and curved. Scientists are still debating exactly what Therizinosaurus used them for. The most likely explanation is defense. Those claws could slash and stab at predators foolish enough to come too close. Therizinosaurus may have looked slow or awkward, but it was protected by these massive claws. Any predator would think twice before attacking something armed like this. The claws could have also helped it pull down branches or strip tough plants. But when danger came, those scythe-like weapons became deadly tools to keep enemies at bay. There is little direct evidence of Therizinosaurus's behavior because fossils are rare and incomplete. but paleontologists piece together clues from related dinosaurs and from the environment. This creature lived in forests filled with smaller predators and large carnivores. Some of those hunters would have seen Therizinosaurus as prey, but the risk of injury from its claws was high. Imagine a curious predator, perhaps a small tyrannosaur relative, creeping through the thick trees. It catches sight of this strange giant nibbling leaves. The predator moves closer, seeking an easy meal. But when the giant lifts a claw, the predator quickly realizes its mistake. A swipe of those 3-foot claws could kill or maim. The predator retreats, scarred and defeated. Despite its fearsome defenses, Therizinosaurus was not built for chasing prey or fighting long battles. Its legs were strong but likely not made for speed. It depended on standing its ground and warning off attackers. This makes it one of the more unusual, dangerous dinosaurs. Dangerous not because it hunted, but because it could defend itself with unmatched power. Therizinosaurus belonged to a unique family called the Therizinosauridae, a group of theropods that stand apart from the typical image of fierce, meat-eating dinosaurs. While most theropods were hunters with sharp teeth and claws for killing prey, Therizinosaurs evolved differently. Their ancestors likely started as carnivores, but over time, this family shifted toward herbivory, a diet based on plants. This evolutionary path makes Therizinosaurus one of the strangest members of the dinosaur world. This family tree shows a fascinating story of change. Early Therizinosaurs were smaller and likely omnivorous, eating both plants and small animals. But by the time of Therizinosaurus, the family had fully adapted to a plant-eating lifestyle. Its long neck and broad, rounded body helped it reach and digest tough vegetation, something not common among large theropods. Unlike the fast and aggressive hunters, Therizinosaurus probably relied on its height and long claws to gather food. It was more of a grazer or browser than a stalker or chaser. In terms of hunting, or rather feeding, Therizinosaurus didn't hunt at all like a predator. Instead, its survival depended on defense and foraging. Its massive claws made it dangerous for any predator thinking of attacking, but it wasn't built for a chase or an ambush. It likely moved deliberately through the forest, carefully picking leaves and plants from the canopy. Its body shape supports this idea. Strong legs gave it stability while feeding on high branches, but the legs were not built for speed or long-distance running. The claws, while frightening, were tools for gathering and defense, not for active hunting. Therizinosaurus's family, the Therizinosaurs, were a puzzle for scientists for decades. At first, their claws confused researchers. When the first claws were discovered in the 1940s, some thought they belonged to a giant turtle or a sea monster. Only later did scientists realize these belonged to a strange group of feathered dinosaurs. This family combined features that seem unusual for theropods. They had long necks, broad hips, and flat feet. Therizinosaurus teaches us that danger in the prehistoric world didn't come only from the fast and fierce hunters. Sometimes it came from creatures that protected themselves in strange and powerful ways. Its claws remain one of the most extraordinary weapons ever found in the dinosaur record. Even now, as we uncover more fossils and learn about its relatives, Therizinosaurus remains a creature of mystery, part enigma, standing tall in the ancient forests with weapons that demand respect. Therizinosaurus guards its secrets in the shadows of prehistoric forests. The ancient world was also ruled by other formidable hunters, each carving their own legacy across varied landscapes. In the vast landscapes of ancient Asia, during the late Jurassic period, two formidable predators roamed the earth. One, the Allosaurus, was a towering figure in the Jurassic floodplains of North America. The other, the Qianzhousaurus, prowled the tropical forests of late Cretaceous China. Despite their differences in time and geography, both shared a common trait. They were apex predators, each dominating their respective ecosystems. Allosaurus, meaning different lizard, was a large theropod dinosaur that lived approximately 155 to 145 million years ago during the late Jurassic period. It belonged to the family Allosauridae, part of the larger group called Carnosauria. This group included some of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs before the rise of tyrannosaurs. Allosaurids were characterized by their large skulls, sharp teeth, and powerful jaws. They were among the dominant predators of their time, predating long before the arrival of the more famous Tyrannosaurus rex. An adult Allosaurus could reach lengths of 8.5 to 12 meters and stand about 4.5 meters tall. Its weight ranged from 1,500 to 2,300 kilograms. The Allosaurus had a large skull, measuring up to 90 centimeters in length, equipped with sharp serrated teeth designed for slicing through flesh. Allosaurus was a bipedal carnivore, walking on two powerful hind legs. Its forelimbs were relatively short but strong, each ending in three curved claws. The tail was long and muscular, aiding in balance and swift movements. As an apex predator, Allosaurus preyed upon large herbivorous dinosaurs such as sauropods, stegosaurs, and ornithopods. Among the most iconic of its prey were the massive sauropods like Camarasaurus and Diplodocus. These long-necked giants could reach lengths of over 80 feet, and though they were gentle grazers, their sheer size posed a challenge even for a skilled predator. To take one down alone would be a near impossible task. But Allosaurus, it seems, might have had a trick up its scaly sleeve: coordination. The carnivore sprints about 21 miles an hour, about as fast as a car driving through a neighborhood. With 8-inch long claws, it grabs Stegosaurus and chomps down with 70 sharp, thick teeth. Fossil sites across North America suggest that Allosaurus didn't always hunt alone. Bone beds have revealed the remains of multiple Allosaurus specimens near the same sauropod carcasses. It's led paleontologists to wonder, did these dinosaurs engage in group hunting? Or were they drawn to the kill site one by one? The truth may lie somewhere in between. Some believe Allosaurus hunted like modern-day Komodo dragons or crocodiles, solitary but opportunistic, willing to tolerate one another when there was plenty of food on the table. Power was their most reliable weapon. Allosaurus's bite force is estimated to be around 2,100 psi. While not as powerful as other dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex, of 8,000 to 12,000 psi, it's still a substantial bite force. Also, it didn't need to be. It used its head like a hatchet, with muscles along the neck and spine let it swing its skull downward in a slicing motion. Jaws agape, teeth like steak knives carving into flesh. It wasn't about crushing bone, it was about cutting deep and letting the prey weaken with every strike. And despite its size, Allosaurus was quick. Its long legs and strong muscles made it surprisingly agile for an animal of its mass. It could pivot, lunge, and charge. Between predator and prey, timing was everything. and Allosaurus had learned the rhythm. In the hierarchy of Jurassic life, Allosaurus was near the top. It outmatched predators like Ceratosaurus and Megalosaurus, not just in size, but in range and dominance. Where they were local hunters, Allosaurus was a continent-spanning killer, found in fossil beds from Utah to Portugal. It was the lone wolf of its age, a hunter that needed no alpha, but itself. Qianzhousaurus, nicknamed Pinocchio Rex due to its elongated snout, was a medium-sized tyrannosaurid dinosaur that lived during the late Cretaceous period, approximately 66 million years ago. It belonged to the family Tyrannosauridae, the same family that included the infamous Tyrannosaurus rex. However, Qianzhousaurus belonged to a distinct subgroup called the Alioramini, known for their slender builds and long snouts, which set them apart from their bulkier, more robust relatives. Unlike its larger relatives, Qianzhousaurus had a slender build and a notably long, narrow snout. It measured about 6.3 meters in length and weighed approximately 750 kilograms. The skull was elongated, housing small, serrated teeth, suited for grasping and slicing smaller prey. Qianzhousaurus was built for agility rather than brute strength. Its long legs and lightweight frame allowed it to move swiftly through the dense forests. The elongated snout may have been an adaptation for catching smaller, faster prey, such as ornithopods and oviraptorids, which were abundant in its environment. Unlike the larger, more robust tyrannosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex, Qianzhousaurus likely relied on speed and precision to capture its prey. Its hunting strategy may have involved stalking and ambushing, using the dense foliage for cover before delivering a swift strike. Its snout, long and narrow, wasn't just a quirky feature, it was a finely tuned hunting instrument. Unlike the broad-skulled T-Rex, Qianzhousaurus had a face made for precision. Each motion of its head allowed for rapid snapping at smaller, more agile prey. Creatures like hadrosaurs, oviraptorosaurs, or even juvenile ceratopsians. Its legs were long and lightly built, suggesting it could move through dense forest with speed and purpose. In a world of thick undergrowth and twisted roots, Qianzhousaurus likely relied on ambush over endurance. A single strike, and the hunt is over. This predator's unique build also hints at a different kind of evolutionary path for tyrannosaurs. While most of its kin, like Daspletosaurus or Albertosaurus, evolved into bulky, bone-crushing hunters, Qianzhousaurus took the road less traveled. It became specialized, lighter, and possibly more adaptable to cluttered environments where larger predators struggled. Though no direct evidence has been found of pack behavior, the agility and speed of Qianzhousaurus suggest it didn't need a team. Like a jungle cat, it hunted alone. Its success wasn't in overwhelming power, but in knowing when and where to strike. But that doesn't mean it lacked danger. Even a smaller tyrannosaur still came with teeth like blades, and a skull strong enough to break bone. Its lighter frame made it faster than T-Rex and more maneuverable than many of its peers. In the dense forests of Cretaceous China, this dinosaur was as much a ghost as a killer, appearing only at the moment of truth. Though it lived in the shadow of its more famous relatives, Qianzhousaurus shows us that danger comes in many forms. It didn't need to be the biggest. It just had to be the best at what it did. While both Allosaurus and Qianzhousaurus were apex predators in their respective eras, they exhibited different adaptations suited to their environments and prey. Allosaurus, with its massive size and powerful build, was capable of taking down large herbivores through strength and possible group coordination. In contrast, Qianzhousaurus's agility and specialized anatomy allowed it to hunt smaller, faster prey, relying on stealth and precision. These differences highlight the diverse evolutionary paths taken by theropod dinosaurs to dominate their ecosystems. The Allosaurus's robust form and potential social behavior contrast with the Qianzhousaurus's sleek design and solitary hunting tactics, showcasing the varied strategies of survival in the prehistoric world. But evolution didn't stop there. As the continents shifted and the Earth's climate changed, new giants took their place in the food chain. And in what is now South America, nature was busy forging something even more terrifying, something bigger, smarter, and no longer alone. Because sometimes, being the strongest wasn't enough. Sometimes, to rule the land, you needed more than muscle. You needed coordination, timing, trust. In the dry, sun-baked plains of ancient Patagonia, life was not for the faint of heart. The skies overhead were vast and cloudless. The land stretched wide, broken by the occasional riverbed or scattered trees. But something else moved here. Something large, quiet, and deadly. This was the realm of Mapusaurus rosei, one of the most formidable predators ever to walk South America. Its name comes from the Mapuche word mapu, meaning earth, and the Greek sauros, meaning lizard, the earth lizard. Mapusaurus lived roughly 96 to 93 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, in what is now Argentina. Fossils were discovered in the Huincul Formation, a region known for its dry, desert-like climate during that era. But what really makes this predator remarkable is not just its size, but how it may have worked as part of a team. This dinosaur stood at the top of its food chain. Mapusaurus belonged to a family of giant meat-eating dinosaurs known as the Carcharodontosauridae, the shark-toothed lizards. Within this family, it's a close cousin of Giganotosaurus, which lived in the same region a few million years earlier. Other family members include Carcharodontosaurus from Africa and Acrocanthosaurus from North America. All of them shared certain features: long, narrow skulls, serrated teeth built like steak knives, and massive jaws capable of biting through bone and muscle. But Mapusaurus had some differences. Compared to Giganotosaurus, it was more slender, possibly faster, and maybe even smarter in how it hunted. At full size, Mapusaurus stretched up to 12.5 meters long, over 40 feet, and weighed around 5 to 6 tons. That's about the size of a box truck, covered in muscle and powered by thick tree trunk legs. Its skull alone was nearly 1.5 meters, packed with more than 60 sharp teeth. Mapusaurus was likely a fast and capable runner, with some paleontologists estimating its top speed at 30 miles per hour. Its slender build and long, powerful hind limbs suggest it was designed for speed and agility, making it a formidable hunter. It was a highly deadly predator. But, unlike many predators that hunted alone, Mapusaurus may have worked as a group. This idea comes from a single incredible discovery: a massive fossil site where paleontologists found bones from at least 7 individuals of different ages, all buried together. These weren't just bones scattered by chance. They were layered in the same place, suggesting these animals may have lived and perhaps died together. The idea of pack hunting in dinosaurs is still debated, But for Mapusaurus, it's a real possibility. Working as a group would have given them a major advantage, especially against one of the largest dinosaurs ever, Qianzhousaurus, a plant-eating titan that grew over 30 meters long and weighed over 80 tons. Alone, even a predator the size of Mapusaurus couldn't bring it down. However, a group of Mapusaurus working together could have increased their chances of success. Instead of directly attacking an adult Qianzhousaurus head-on, Mapusaurus may have used endurance-based hunting techniques. They could have harassed and chased their prey, causing exhaustion and weakening it over time. Given the dense forests and open plains of prehistoric Argentina, Mapusaurus may have used ambush tactics. They could have waited for an Qianzhousaurus to wander into a vulnerable position before launching a coordinated attack. They might not chase, but they can isolate, picking out a sick or young sauropod and steering it away from the group. Then comes the attack. One grabs hold, another bites at the legs, and the rest join in. It's brutal, and it's effective. Even if the idea of coordinated hunting is debated, there's no question that Mapusaurus was a predator built for power and teamwork. Their fossil site shows different age groups together, perhaps older ones teaching the young, or maybe sharing a kill. It's one of the few pieces of evidence we have suggesting social behavior in large theropods. But where tyrannosaurs had deep skulls and bone-crushing bites, carcharodontosaurs like Mapusaurus had longer, flatter skulls made for slicing, not crushing. Their hunting strategy was different too. While T-Rex may have depended on brute force, Mapusaurus used a slash-and-weaken tactic, biting, pulling, retreating, letting their prey bleed and tire before moving in for the finish. Think of it like wolves bringing down a bison. No one hit ends the fight. It's the group effort that wears the giant down. The land they lived in was hot and dry, with rivers that sometimes flooded and then vanished. Food may have been seasonal, and herding together may have helped Mapusaurus survive the hard times. Being in a group also meant better protection for juveniles, and perhaps even a form of primitive communication or social ranking. Today, Mapusaurus teaches us that danger didn't always come from being the biggest or fastest. Sometimes it came from working together. It challenges our image of dinosaurs as solitary monsters. Instead, it offers a glimpse at a more complex, even social side of ancient predators. They ruled their world not just with teeth and strength, but with cooperation, timing, and a sharp mind behind those ancient eyes. But while Mapusaurus reigned in the southern lands of what is now Argentina, far to the north, across a shifting sea and millions of years later, another predator rose to power. This one didn't need a pack. It ruled alone. In the waning days of the Cretaceous period, the ancient landscapes of Laramidia, a landmass that once stretched from present-day Alaska to Mexico, were dominated by a formidable predator, Tyrannosaurus rex. This apex hunter, whose name translates to Tyrant Lizard King, has become emblematic of prehistoric power and dominance. Tyrannosaurus rex belonged to the family Tyrannosauridae, a group of large theropod dinosaurs within the broader clade Coelurosauria. This lineage traces back to smaller, earlier tyrannosauroids that roamed Asia and North America during the Jurassic and early Cretaceous periods. One such ancestor is Raptorex kriegsteini, a human-sized predator from approximately 130 million years ago. Despite its modest size, Raptorex exhibited many features characteristic of later tyrannosaurids, including a large skull, short arms, and legs adapted for running. This suggests that the body plan of T. rex was established well before it achieved its massive stature. Another pivotal species in the tyrannosaur lineage is Timurlengia euotica, a horse-sized dinosaur that lived around 90 million years ago in what is now Uzbekistan. Timurlengia possessed advanced sensory capabilities, including sharp vision and a keen sense of smell, indicating that these traits evolved prior to the increase in body size seen in later tyrannosaurids. The discovery of Lithranax argestes, dubbed the King of Gore, further illuminates the evolutionary path of T. rex. Living approximately 80 million years ago in present-day Utah, Lithranax had a wide skull and forward-facing eyes, features that foreshadow the anatomy of T. rex. This suggests that the tyrannosaurid body plan was diversifying earlier than previously thought. Tyrannosaurus rex was among the largest land predators to have ever existed. Adults could reach lengths of up to 12.3 meters and weigh between 8.4 to 14 metric tons. Its massive skull, measuring over 1.5 meters in length, housed powerful jaw muscles capable of delivering a bite force estimated at 8,000 to 12,000 psi. This force is equivalent to having a medium-sized elephant sitting on you. Eating humans is only a walk in the park for the T. rex. And while eating the humans, it doesn't separate their bones. It chows like you do while eating popcorn. Take, for example, the Ankylosaurus. It had superb defenses, especially in its bony tail, but still it was the T. rex's prey. The T. rex had one of the most powerful bite force in animal history. Its bite force was insane, and, honestly, crushing bones would be a piece of cake for the beast. Despite its formidable size, T. rex had relatively short forelimbs, each ending in 2 clawed digits. While their function remains a topic of debate, some hypotheses suggest they may have been used for grasping prey, aiding in locomotion from a prone position, or holding onto mates during reproduction. T. rex possessed highly developed sensory organs that contributed to its effectiveness as a predator. Its forward-facing eyes provided binocular vision, enhancing depth perception, crucial for hunting. The olfactory bulbs in its brain were large, indicating an acute sense of smell, comparable to that of modern vultures, allowing it to detect prey or carrion over long distances. Additionally, the structure of its inner ear suggests it could detect low-frequency sounds, aiding in the detection of prey movements. The hunting strategies of T. rex have been the subject of extensive research and debate. While some early theories posited that it was primarily a scavenger, fossil evidence indicates active predation. For instance, a T. rex tooth was found embedded in the healed tailbone of a hadrosaur, suggesting that the prey survived an attack, thereby confirming that T. rex hunted live animals. T. rex likely employed a combination of ambush and pursuit tactics, using its powerful legs to approach prey swiftly over short distances. Its robust teeth and strong bite allowed it to inflict fatal wounds quickly. Juvenile T. rexes, being more agile, may have targeted smaller prey, gradually shifting to larger targets as they matured. There is also evidence suggesting that T. rex may have exhibited social behavior. Fossilized trackways and bone beds containing multiple individuals imply that they could have moved in groups, potentially coordinating during hunts. However, interpretations of such evidence remain contentious within the scientific community. One common misconception is that its tiny arms were useless. As previously mentioned, these limbs may have had specific functions, though their exact purpose is still under investigation. Another myth is that T. rex was a slow, lumbering creature. While it was not built for sustained high-speed chases, biomechanical studies suggest it could reach speeds of up to 27 kilometers per hour, sufficient for ambushing prey. It was a highly deadly predator, renowned for its massive size, powerful bite, and sharp teeth, making it an unstoppable force in the list of the scariest and deadliest dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus rex remains one of the most iconic dinosaurs, capturing the imagination of scientists and the public alike. As research continues, our understanding of this magnificent creature deepens, shedding light on the complex ecosystems of the late Cretaceous and the evolutionary pathways that led to the apex predators of that era. From the moment the first dinosaur fossil was unearthed, humanity has been captivated. These ancient beings, with their immense size and formidable presence, ignite our imagination. They represent a world long gone, yet their stories continue to unfold with each new discovery. Our fascination isn't just about their might or mystery, it's about understanding our own place in the tapestry of life. Dinosaurs challenge us to look back, to piece together the puzzle of Earth's history, and to marvel at the forces that shaped life as we know it. While the age of dinosaurs ended 66 million years ago, their legacy soars above us every day. Birds, the only surviving lineage of dinosaurs, are living testaments to their enduring influence. Scientific studies have shown that birds evolved from theropod dinosaurs, sharing traits like hollow bones, feathers, and even certain behaviors. The discovery of feathered dinosaurs like Sinosauropteryx and Archaeopteryx bridges the gap between ancient reptiles and modern birds, highlighting the gradual evolution of flight and other avian characteristics. Recent fossil finds, such as those in Alaska's Prince Creek Formation, reveal that birds were nesting in polar regions during the age of dinosaurs, indicating their adaptability and resilience. These findings underscore the deep evolutionary roots connecting today's birds to their prehistoric ancestors. Dinosaurs were not aberrations, they were the culmination of millions of years of adaptation. Each species, from the swift Velociraptor to the towering Tyrannosaurus rex, was finely tuned to its environment. For instance, the development of feathers in certain theropods likely began as insulation or display mechanisms before being co-opted for flight. The gradual miniaturization of some dinosaur lineages, coupled with other anatomical changes, paved the way for the emergence of birds. This evolutionary journey exemplifies nature's ability to repurpose and refine traits over time. As we delve into the lives of these ancient creatures, we're reminded of the impermanence of dominance. The mighty dinosaurs, rulers of their world, were eventually supplanted, making way for new forms of life. Their extinction serves as a poignant reminder of nature's ever-changing landscape. Yet, their legacy endures, not just in fossils or scientific studies, but in the very birds that chirp outside our windows. Every fluttering wing and melodic song is a tribute to their ancient lineage. These musings, while speculative, encourage us to reflect on the delicate balance of ecosystems and the responsibilities that come with scientific advancement. The story of dinosaurs is not just about the past, it's a narrative that continues to evolve, influencing our understanding of biology, ecology, and evolution. As we uncover more about these magnificent creatures, we gain insights into the resilience and adaptability of life itself. The world these creatures inhabited was not made for mercy. It was shaped by fire, storms, shifting seas, and endless change. Every animal born into that chaos had one purpose: to survive just one more day. But survival wasn't enough for some. Some evolved into something more. They became hunters. To see them now, frozen in stone, is to glimpse a moment of perfection forged by time. These predators didn't live to be terrifying. They were simply doing what they were made to do. And somehow, in their pursuit of survival, they became symbols of power, precision, and evolution's relentless push forward. It's easy to call them killers. Harder to see the beauty in what they were. Living creatures, navigating an unforgiving world the only way they knew how. This is their story, not just of how they hunted, but of why they mattered. And why, millions of years later, they still make our hearts race. Because deep down, something in us still remembers what it means to be hunted.